All right. Good afternoon and welcome to this month's Stack Live SmartUse Best Practices for Specialized Contractors. My name is Bruno Kidza. I'm an industry consultant with Stack. I've been with the team for a little more than a year now and been a corporate trainer for the past 15 or so. And I'll be your moderator this afternoon. And our presenter and subject expert matter is our own Dominic Sevigny. Dominic is the founder of SmartUse and has joined Stack in 2021. So a little housekeeping here. Our participants will be in listen-only mode during the discussion. You can go ahead and submit your question by using the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. We will keep the last 5 minutes or so open for questions. And all the participants will receive a recording of this webinar by email. So to present our subject today, Dom, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Bruno. All right, thank you very much to be there this afternoon. So basically today, we will look at how to own your documents and markups inside SmartUse. And we will focus today on the Procore connector that SmartUse released a couple of months ago. And one of the main objectives of that connector is to fix one of the problems that our subcontractors that subscribe to SmartUse in using their own licenses. And sometimes they have a GCs that force them to use Procore. And at the same time, they have SmartUse for their own internal projects. But at the same time, they have Procore to be used on a specific projects with the GCs. So users on the field have to swap between SmartUse and Procore depending on the projects, right? So sometimes some are just going to Procore, download the documents and re-upload inside SmartUse to fully use 100% of all of their projects inside SmartUse, right? So which means that you need to have some ones that download documents manually from Procore and upload inside SmartUse. So when we saw that at SmartUse, we decided to make a connector because Procore have their own app store where third-party application like SmartUse can just build using their APIs to connect both systems together. So basically, we will look at how to activate SmartUse on the Procore App Store, how to use the logins, and how the documents, not the documents, but the drawings synced work. We'll look at the markups, we'll look at the folder structure, and at the end we will look at how to export your has-built, because this is one of the main things inside SmartUse. It's like you build things, you put markups, and at the end you want to download your has-built and send that to your client, right? So basically, this is what we will cover in a few minutes. So now I will share my screen. All right, now I am right now a SmartUse administrator having access as a owner or co-owner of the SmartUse subscriptions, and I have access to the create new projects button here, right? So the first thing I want to do here is to create the projects and put the project names. So let me just copy paste something here. All right, this live English, right? I will create my project here. So the first thing you will see here, it's the new integrations tab here on the settings. Right now, my new project is automatically selected when I created that new projects. And if I'm going to the integrations, which is something that is new, right? This is the placeholder where you will see in the future all the connections that SmartUse will do. So basically, right now we only have one Procore connector. and you activate that connector per projects, right? It's not connected to your organizations. It's really like one SmartUse project is connected to one Procore projects. So when I'm going there and I click connect here, what will happen here? SmartUse will forward you to the authentications page of Procore. So you enter your credentials. So these credentials came from the GCs, right? So one of your users gave you owns a Procore logins, right? So just use that. It's a single logins, right, for all the SmartUse users, right? It's just you have to create that once, right, one time. So if I click login here, what will happen here? SmartUse will come back here and list you all the projects that this username and password have access to inside Procore. So the first thing you want to do here is to look at the list of the projects. If you click here, right, so you have access to the list of the projects that you want to connect to from SmartUse, right, to Procore. One of the things that is really important here, it's like if you don't see the project here, but your logons works correctly, maybe it's because the App Store is turned off, right? Third-party access is turned off on the Procore instance of your GC. So what you have to do here, it's you will see here a link to a help article that we build and explain how to fix that, right? So basically, this is a overall documentations of our Procore connections. And when you're going here on the integrations prerequisite here, you will see one of the feature, it's allow users install, right? So this is one of the things that the GC can turn off. By default, this switch is turned on, which means that SmartUse can connect to any Procore connector without any problems, right? So basically, if you don't see the projects, maybe the GCs that manage the Procore instance, maybe turn off. The only thing you have to do is to send them an email and say, hey, I want to use my own documents and drawing software that I subscribed previously, and I just want to sync documents. So can you please allow SmartUse to be turned on in the Procore App Store, right? So basically, you have all the info here, right? And as soon as this will be fixed, you will just reconnect your credential, just reuse your credential, and right away when you will click connect, you will see the projects that you want to sync on. So I will click that specific project and I will click connect here. So what will happen here? So SmartUse on the back end is sharing credentials between both systems, and will connect to the Procore instance, right? There is no warning, there is no error message here, so which means that everything looks good. Super easy. This is the only thing you have to do, right? So if you want to see the result of that, so you will have to wait a couple of minutes, because the first syncs will happen right away, right? But SmartUse have to do a lot of things to be sure that everything looks good between Procore and SmartUse. So that's why if I'm going back here on the projects here, one of the things you will see here, it's now you have integrations column here on the project list view, right? So I have done one this morning here. So this is the one that I just created. And if I'm going right away inside that project, you will not see anything ready here, right? It's because SmartUse is still working. You have to wait maybe 5-10 minutes, and after that, everything will start syncing, right? Let me just go back here, and I will use the ones that I synced this morning just to show you. So let me just, no, I'll keep that. So the first thing you will see here is the syncs between Procore and SmartUse is done on a single folder, right? That folder has a different icon here, and this is where SmartUse will pull the documents from Procore and copy paste those documents inside the SmartUse. Keep in mind, this is a one-way sync from Procore to SmartUse, right? In fact, it's a copy paste, right? Seeing that a copy paste, it's easier to understand, right? So the first thing you will see here, if you click the documents, it's the area. What is the area? Inside Procore, you have the concept of, let's say, the building. You have a big project, a building 1, building 2. You can define area. Let me log on to the Procore instance, and you will see the good example here. So if I'm going to my project here, the first thing you will see here, all right, let me just go there on the drawing section, right? So what you will see here, it's the area number 1. Can you imagine that this is the building number 1? You can have building number 2, building number 3, and when you're going down on that area, now you will see the drawings, right? Architecture, general, could be electrical, mechanical, and if I expand it, I will see the documents with the sheet name and the sheet title, right? Revision dates and all the dates. So if I'm going back to SmartUse now, right? I'm going there, you will see area has a folder. If you click here, now you have architecture, general, 91 documents, 6 documents. You click here, and now you will see that SmartUse syncs everything, right? Sheet name, sheet title under here. You cannot control the content of that specific folder. You cannot delete it. You cannot, if you look at that here, you can control the permissions, because by default, SmartUse is everyone have access to everything, right? All your SmartUse employees that have access to that specific projects have access to that specific folder. You can remove access if you want. And you can force a sync, right? So by default, when you connect that project to Procore, it will sync right away all the contents. Could take time depending on the size of the projects. But after that, SmartUse will sync your projects at noon and at 5 p.m. Think about that. Twice a day, cover all the day. But if some things was uploaded inside Procore, let's say at 10 a.m. in the morning, and it's 11, you will not see the documents until noon. If you want to fix that, you can ask your administrator of the SmartUse projects, just going there, go to 3 dots and click sync. Now SmartUse will do a right away syncs for the delta, right? What new revisions, and what new folder, what new documents. And like you see here, if you look at that here, you don't have any upload button, any upload creating folder. Everything is hidden, right? You cannot control. The source of truth, it's Procore. Remember, we sync documents one way from Procore to SmartUse to avoid you doing that manually, like download on your desktops and re-upload on the SmartUse site, right? That's the main reason why we built that connector. So basically, you don't control the contents of that specific folder, but you can control other folder. So which means that I can just go there and say, hey, let's create a plans folder. Going there, I have my own discipline. So I can just go there and say, let's create a structure folder, right? I can go to the structure folder and I can say, let me upload a single drawing, right? Yeah, this is a structure folder, but this is not important for that demo. But I can upload my own documents here, right? I will finish later. So basically, it's cool because you have the drawings from Procore, right? And you have the your own set of documents inside that, right? So it's cool. Now, all of your own employees have access to that specific. Everything works like as is. Go to the users, invite your own employees. They have access to the Procore documents that was synced using a single email password credential from one of your administrator inside your business that have access to the Procore from the GCs, because the GCs ask you to pull the documents from there, right? So instead of downloading the documents and open it in, I don't know, could be Adobe, right? No, use SmartUse because you already paid for SmartUse. You have your own subscriptions. Let's do here a sync, right? So to activate, by the way, to activate that Procore feature, to have the Procore column here and the integrations tab here. So let me go to the settings here to have that tab, because by default is hidden. Just go to the chat on the bottom left here. Just ask our support teams to ask someone to call you, because they will have to give you an info of how it works. There is a small fees on a yearly basis to be able to sync document from Procore, and that's it. After that, just go there on projects basis, create connect, and you will sync from Procore only drawings without any problem really fast. Other thing that is really important to mention here, it's only the drawing sections of Procore is syncing right now. So if you look at the Procore here, you can have probably documents, specifications, forms, RFI submittals. Right now, we only support drawings because that covers pretty much 90% of the needs of our customers. But in the future, we plan to improve that Procore connector with a lot of new things here. So first things, drawings only. Second things, the markups that was made inside Procore are not synced inside SmartUse. Why? Not because SmartUse don't want to do it. It's because Procore does not support markup syncings, right? This is one of the things that is missing on their API. And as soon as this become available, we will do it for sure. So right now, the goal is to fix the pain point of downloading manually the documents and re-uploading manually inside SmartUse, and to avoid that manual manipulations between both software. Basically, you just have to connect SmartUse to Procore, and that's it. Drawings only, markups, no markups, and it's a one-way sync, right? Remember, we are not pushing back documents that you put here under your own documents to the source of truth of that project, because the GC does not want to see your documents, right? The goal of that things is control your own set of documents, regardless if the GCs remove your access to that to your specific projects. And this is one of the pain points, right? Imagine that you're using the Procore mobile apps to work on that specific projects, right? So you click, you work, you put markups, and at the end of the projects, they pull a plug on your account. You lost everything, right? You lost the markups and the documents. So right now, you open your phone or your tablets or Windows app of SmartUse, open the documents, put markups, do everything, right? Even if they pull a plug on the access, you will keep the drawings from Procore projects here, and also the documents, also the markups that you put on it, right? That's the main goal. Like again, drawings only, no markups, same folder structure, everything will be synced under the drawings as a folder in PDF documents. We synced only the current set. So if you look at that here, we only synced the current set, not the previous revisions, right? It's the current set, which means that it is the latest revisions of all the sheets, right? Plus new revisions and new sets that will come in the future, right? We just keep, the first thing, it's like, what is the most important? It's the current set and the future. So SmartUse will sync everything's from there. What else? Yeah, the sync is manually, noon, 5 p.m. And yeah, I think this is it. So last thing that I want to show you is at the end of the projects, I want to remember people that, hey, how I can build and extract my has-built, right? That's the goal, because you want to send that to your clients. So all you have to do is to go to the project here and see the list of the projects, and you will go there and click download has-builts, which means that if I'm going to do that, what will happen here, you give the instructions to the SmartUse server to say, hey, can you zip everything, right, under a single zip file, all the folder, all the documents with all the public markups. So remember, if you put private markups, right, or you share markup with somebody else, that will not be included on your has-built. So which means that you should open the app, look at all the drawings, keep only the things that you want to extract as a has-built, put all the markups public, right? And as soon as you will do it here from the web portal, you will download the has-built in a couple of minutes, depending on the size of the project. If it's a small or huge project, it will just download everything, and SmartUse will send you a link to a zip file to download, right? It's not attached to email because sometimes it's too big. And the people that will forward that email with the link to download the has-built of that specific projects don't need to have access to SmartUse. It's just a link to download the files, the zip files, and that's it, right? There is no restriction of that, right? So that is the last things that my goal was to show you how to own your own project and documents, right? If I recap everything, if you want to use a Procore connector, go to the chat on the left side here on the website or the portal, admin portal, right? Ask our support teams to contact you just to give you a yearly fees. It's a small fee that we had on top of your existing SmartUse subscriptions, right? But that will avoid manual download and re-upload inside SmartUse. Simple to use. Keep has a owner and co-owner. You can just go there, create the projects, and after that, go to the integrations tab, enter your Procore credentials, and SmartUse will list all the project that you can sync. If a project is missing, call the GCs, ask them to approve the SmartUse app on their app store, turn on the switch names, allow users install, and that's it, right? SmartUse will sync, will take time to sync the first shot, and after that we'll sync noon and 5 p.m. drawings only, no markups, all the documents from the drawings sections of Procore, one-way syncs from Procore to SmartUse. It's a copy paste, current set only plus future versions. So yeah, this is straightforward, really simple, and you can control the content of the other folder. So you just go there and you can create your own documents, you upload manually inside SmartUse, even if the Procore connector is dedicated to a single folder here. You can sync manually, and that's it. If it's noon and 5 p.m. is not enough. No more, really straightforward, really simple. If you have any questions, use the chat windows here that you have on the bottom and just ask questions, and Bruno will respond to that, and I'm still there if there is any questions.
Thank you, Dom. We did have a quick question here. And I kind of like the nature of the question because it summarized it so well. So as a specialized contractor, if I have access to Procore, have access to SmartUse, where do I mark up? Should I mark up in Procore, mark up or in SmartUse? What changes on a daily basis for me?
Really good questions. If you connect SmartUse to Procore, it's because you want to avoid using Procore and losing your markups. That's the goal, right? Because what will happen as soon as the GC's done the projects, they will pull the plug on your access. You'll lose everything, right? The goal is to do everything inside SmartUse. You sync the documents and you do all of your markups inside SmartUse. That's it, no questions.
Awesome, thank you. Do we have more questions from the attendees? All right, so I'll start and wrap up our webinar. If you have last minute questions, we're still available. Feel free to enter it in the Q&A section. So quick reminder here, all the registered participants will receive a recording via email in the next few days. As always, through the web portal, you can ask away your question in the chat. You can also use the chat and our contact information for support to schedule some training if required. And stay tuned for next month's Tax Live. We'll come back with a new topic for you. And I would say last call for our questions here.
Just go to the chat sections if you have the questions,
Yes.
because everything is on chat, is not a vocal question on the webinar, just to be sure that people understand. If not, just go to the chat after that sessions, and there is a lot of people that can help you on the chat if you have any questions. So your account manager can just call you as soon as possible and to answer your questions. All right.
Thank you, Dom.
Thanks, Bruno.
And thank you all, and we will catch you next month.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Have a good afternoon.